Hey, this is Jason with Zero to Programmer, and we are back with another HTML video. This time I'm going to actually show how to create a iframe in your website. So we have our browser open on our file that we're working on, and we have Notepad open up on the file that we're working on. So let's just get right into it. So what I'm going to do is go all the way down to the end of the body, past our last thing that we did, which was down here, right there. And I'm going to put another space there. And before I forget, I said I was going to do something the other day and I didn't do it. Oops. What I wanted to do. There we go. Just wanted to clean that up a little bit before I end up getting confused on that. Alright, so nothing changed, but we're just going here. Alright, so let's start this off with introducing a new tag. So the new tag is pretty easy to remember. If you're wanting to do an iframe, it's just put in iframe. That is the iframe tag. Now, like a lot of other tags that we know, the anchor, aka the link tag, and then like the image tag. If you know those, then you know that you cannot just put iframe and create an iframe. So what we're going to do is go inside the iframe tag, space over, and we are going to put in source, just like if you were wanting to do a link to a website. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to link up right here. I'm just going to actually steal my YouTube link right here. And you make sure that you get the HTTPS : // So you're wanting to copy and click right there and paste. There you go, in the quotation. And of course you have to close the iframe just like you would do a link or an image. So there you go. That is how you do an iframe. So we're going to take a look and just make sure it worked. Right, wait. See something there, but it looks like it created the iframe process, but it did not link up to the YouTube thing. So I'm going to pause the video and find out what I missed. Alright, well, I came across something pretty interesting. So I was back and forth on this thing trying to figure out why this wasn't working. I even pulled it up. I don't know how many of you know about Notepad++, but it's basically the same thing as Notepad, which Notepad comes with your computer most of the time if you have a Windows computer or PC. And the only difference is it's kind of made for coding. So let me just open this up. Okay. Alright, so it's still Notepad, but it's just Notepad++. So what it does is it shows you, it highlights each part. So like it highlights the tag and the attributes separately. And you see the links right here. It go ahead and underline. You can actually click on this link and it'll actually send you to the website. And you can see right here is another attribute. The scrolling attribute is a little weird. It's not showing up as one, and the function's been a little iffy. I was going to go over that one here, but basically you can turn your scrolling for your your iframe on and off by saying yes or no. And so yeah, I mean, I just wanted to test it with this. I'm not going to. I'll introduce Notepad++ later, but it's a free thing. You can just go on to Google, type in Notepad++, and you'll search through there, and I'll do a whole video probably on that. But yeah, that's Notepad++. But let's just go back to our Notepad over here, and I will explain a few things. So my problem was everything, the link was right. I was able to go onto Notepad++ and just click on the link to make sure it was right, and it sent me to the website, so there was no problem there. And I even tested at a different part of the page, thinking that had something to do with it, and that also did not fix it. I even opened it up in a different type of browser, like I usually use Google Chrome. I actually opened it up in Windows Internet Explorer, and that didn't work. So what I was trying to do, I was trying to use my YouTube channel to send it through there. Well, what I found out is there may be a reason why people don't use these iframes as much as you know you would think, because it seems like a cool idea. It might bog down your website, but yeah. But anyways, so what's going on is they've realized that it's a security issue to have that, to display their site on there. Apparently it must be really easy to modify things and send in viruses and whatever. I'm just assuming here, I haven't researched or anything. But so what I found out was every website that I was going to was when I opened up in this browser, it was showing me this right here. It's showing that it can't be displayed in this frame. It says to help protect security of information you enter into the website, this publisher of this content does not allow it to be displayed in the frame. So I thought I'd just go through a few websites and see what I could find, see which ones would actually let me do it. And I did find one, but I didn't want to put them on blast like that, just in case somebody does watch this and like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna mess with them. So I actually did find this. This was pretty cool to find. So I just happened to type in GameSpot, and I put in. Let me go over here and I'll show you. I put in right here, https://www.gamespot.com, and in the quotations, and that's just in that same setup that I had earlier, right there. And so when I did, it actually said, it gave me a message earlier, and as you see, the scroll bar is working now. So like I said, it's a little weird, but it only shows things that are protected. So it doesn't show the full website, it just shows what's protected. So that to me, I thought was pretty cool. And I did this tutorial trying to show you iframes, which I'm showing you now, but it may not be a great idea to put iframes in your website, especially if you're going to be entering in private information, or somebody that's using your website is going to be entering in private information. That may not be the best idea. Apparently there's some things they haven't figured out in there. I don't know, I'll research it more and maybe talk about it in another video. But okay, so that's iframes, the basic thing of iframes anyways. So, and we can set this iframe to stay here on GameSpot.com. We'll just do that now. I'll actually leave it up at the top just to make it easier for me, and I'll just delete this one back here. There you go. Yeah. So what we're going to do then is go back up here to where this iframe is, and so basically it's a browser inside of a browser. So you can browse through your stuff without have it open up another window basically, and you know, if you wanted to show somebody something on your page, if somebody's using your page and you wanted to show them certain information for whatever reason, you could do that with this. But like I said, it may not be the best idea. But I'm going to go through this anyways because I've been working on this for a while. So right, we're going to do it right here so that we know. Matter of fact, we're going to actually indent again so that we know it's all together. And so what I'm going to do is create a link that sends, instead of opening up in another window, it's going to actually send that link to your iframe. So we're just going to do, well, actually, first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to name our iframe. So we just go over here, past all of our attributes that we've done so far, and we're going to add another attribute called name, and equals colon, and then we're going to put let's just put iframe underscore 02 programmer. Now that's the name of our iframe. Now I've also heard that to keep up with like updates, and if somebody hasn't updated their system, to go ahead and not only do the name attribute but also do an ID attribute, and you're just going to name it the exact same thing, iframe underscore, I bet I capitalized zero programmer, yeah, kind of used to doing that, zero programmer, lowercase. You know, inside your actual commands, you don't want to capitalize anything, just remember that. Zero to programmer, and there. So now that we've got that going, yeah, I did that in the wrong spot. 0 to programmer, and there, and then I gotta switch this up. There. Alright, now so we've named it. We're going to go ahead and save this real quick. We've named our iframe now, both in ID and name attribute. So we're going to put in a link now. So we're going to hit the link tag, the A, then put in the attribute href or href, and then inside here we're going to call it where we want to send our user to. So we could just try to use, we can try this, I don't know if it's going to work or not. Try to trick the system a little bit, maybe. It may not work though. Pretty sure it's not going to work actually. But we'll try it anyways. So we're going to go stop it. Right here. Copy. Go back up to our stuff that we're working on right now. Go inside our place, and there you go. Alright, so we have our href attribute, and then now we're going to actually put in our target. I think we did this in a few videos ago, but our target is now going to go to our iframe that we've named. So I think I actually said in that video I had no clue what that little blank or that underscore was for. Well, now I know. So we've named an iframe, and we're going to call it that now. We're going to call it iframe underscore 02 programmer. And so now that is going to, after I close everything off, and we're going to have to, let's see, I think actually we're going to put Alt equals this. I can't remember if I need to do this or not. Programmer, 0 to programmer, there, and then close, and then we're going to put, let's get down here, and then close the tag. Alright, save this and maybe it'll work. I don't know. Oh, I forgot something. Should have put a line break. Save and refresh. That still didn't work. Alright, let me pause this again and review my notes, because apparently I've forgotten how to do that. Alright, so I figured it out. Instead of putting the alt, I should have just went on the outside of the tag and put whatever I wanted the link to say. It's not a big issue there. If I can, I've got to open this up a little bit. There we go. Remove the alt. Come on now. Alright. So there you go. Now, if we test this, we want this to send us to my YouTube page. Now, I tried to do that with the iframe itself, like the home page for the iframe, basically, but it wouldn't do it for security issues from YouTube. So, if this works, I probably shouldn't be showing this, but this is definitely for educational purposes only, I promise you. Alright, but check this out. We'll try it out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Nope. Alright, so they're safe, we're safe, everything's good. So it will not let you cannot just send a link to it, which I didn't expect it to work, but I want to try it anyways. So what we can do is instead go over here to our there we go. To our URL that we were putting in, and instead just put it to let's see, GameSpot.com. Well, that's not gonna. We're going to put it to it's not going to work either, but we're just going to do that so that I can show you that the link actually does work. It's not, I mean, it's not going to pull up because of a safety issue, but I still want to show you. So we should be back at GameSpot. There we go. And then send that. There you go. It's saved. So that's what I wanted to show you. So that, I want to make sure that's not something. Oh, maybe go over this. Let's see. So we're looking at the iframe. Let me find it real quick. the iframe itself, and we have the open tag, which is all the way down here at the end, and I put 0 to programmer right here in between the open tag and the close tag for the iframe. What that does is if iframe is not accepted on their system that they're using, the users that's on your browser, your website that's using that, if their system does not support iframe, then it will show this instead. Or you could, instead of just putting 0 to programmer, you could just be like, sorry, your software, your equipment doesn't support iframe, and that would kind of solve, let people know what's going on. So that would be another thing too, is if you were trying to test, if it wasn't working and it showed this, then you would know that your system just doesn't support iframe. But what was going on with me is I was getting a blank screen, and then I opened up in a separate browser, and it actually told me the reason is that it's basically a security issue. So I'm pretty much rambling right now, but that's basically it for iframes. I could go and to show you a whole bunch of customizations and stuff like that to it, but honestly they're literally the same as altering an image or a link tag or something, or even you can use CSS with that stuff too. But as I just showed you, it's really not worth using, honestly, because the security issues, I mean, you might get lucky and find whatever you're using to work, but it may not be the best idea anyway. So just put this on your knowledge, if nothing else, just be able to say that you know about iframes. So I want to go over what I showed just to make sure that everybody actually did see everything. I went over iframes. I went over a few customizations, a few attributes. The attribute, one of the new attributes I showed was the name attribute, where you actually named your iframe, and the other one was, what was it? Oh, the scrolling. And the scrolling is iffy. Let me actually just try to. I'm going to do some research on the scrolling and see if there's like another tag or another attribute I can use for it. But possibly this may work. Okay, it did remove the scrolling. So the scrolling attribute does work. Like I said, I've had issues with it though. So I don't know what the deal was. Maybe it was because it wasn't letting me scroll in Google Chrome. I haven't tried reopening this yet. I need to. We're in Google Chrome now. With this, I'm just going to refresh, and it shows that. And there, yeah, okay. And we're going to put yes instead now and see if the scrolling does actually work. Save, refresh. There you go. It does work. My issues were more than likely the URL I was using was just messing with everything. So that's pretty much everything I went over today. And remember my little disclaimer: when you're doing this stuff, if you're practicing along with me and stuff, just remember, do this at your own risk. We are talking about going to somebody else's URL and stuff now too, so definitely be careful with that stuff. you should be able to experiment with your project for sure, but be aware of what you're doing. Try not to do anything that's going to get you in any trouble either. So that was iframes. I can't tell you it was that useful now that I know that it's kind of iffy, but whatever. So my next video is we're actually going to leave the body. We are finally we've been jumping back in and out of it, but we are leaving the body for at least a video. We're going to go over the head up here. Oops. There we go. We're going to go inside the head with the style that we've been doing. We're going to pretty much stick right here. And we're going to talk about metas and meta information, basically. The stuff that you don't see that can help your browser get up to the front pages of search engine like Google. So that's going to be something you should definitely take a look at. But besides that, I'll have that video coming up on Friday. And if you watch my Zero to Musician page, which if you haven't checked it out, you really should. I've got a few videos on there now. Check that out, because tomorrow I will have another video posted for that, and then Friday I will have this HTML head project. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter, and like I said, check out my Zero to Musician channel too. And yeah, this is Jason with Zero to Programmer, and I will see y'all next project, next video.